Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Ruben here. Now, I'm going to be doing my new this is like a show mostly about sports, but I'm going to throw in a whole bunch of other topics here. But this is going to be the format, okay? The format's going to be 2 shows a day, between 5 and 10 minutes long. The first show is going to be on YouTube. The next part of the show is going to be on Facebook, okay? Each one of the locations will have a link to the other one. So there's going to be 2 topics. I'm going to try to stick to one topic on each one. And so the goal is to do it every single day, regardless of location. And I'm going to try to post at least one on each channel every day. So if you're interested in hearing about my little weird and quirky takes on sports, please follow along, join in, comment, follow it, subscribe, like, all that good stuff, all the stuff that everybody asks you to do that, please. If not, that's okay too. Then go watch another video. It's all good either way. So I'm just going to get right into it. So the first topic is going to be about UFC 244. The next topic, which is going to be on the Facebook channel, which is going to be about the Canelo, Kovalev and Ryan Garcia-Duno fight. So that's going to be about boxing on the other channel. This one's going to be UFC 244, which happens tomorrow, and it's going to be very interesting. So let's talk about, so I'm just going to get right into, so that's going to be the format. So you can follow along, you can check it on another thing. On the bottom of this description will be the link to the Facebook video. So anyways, check them out, okay? And comment if you think I'm completely off or right or whatever. But anyways, these are kind of my takes on that, okay? So I'm going to get right into it. So the first topic, I'm going to start from the bottom up, right? What I think is interesting, right? One of the things that I think about all these big fight cards, UFC 244 is going to be a really big fight card. It's a Madison Square Garden. It's going to be really huge. I mean, there's a lot of attention because of the headliners. However, the thing is that all these guys and girls that don't have a big name, there's their huge opportunity to really stick out, okay? They have an opportunity to kind of make a name for themselves. That's a thing that, like, when you look at all these fights and all the build-up and everything, they're basically getting all the media attention, all the attention. ESPN is showcasing all the fights, the fighters, the event itself, the weigh-ins. They're not having to pay or invest in any of that stuff. The rookie fighters are kind of being handed a platform, and it's their opportunity to kind of show out, right? So that's one of the things that I think is very interesting. Like, so then you got the guys or girls that kind of start making a name for themselves, and that's how they kind of blow up, right? So the first person I want to get to is Johnny Walker, right? He's a very interesting fighter. He fights at 205. He seems very accomplished. He seems like he likes the media. He likes the attention. He likes to talk. He likes to be in the limelight. One thing that's interesting about his record against the guy that he's fighting is he's kind of had this checkered kind of win-loss thing where he's had some decisions. He's had an early loss. He was one of the Ultimate Fighter winners, Corey Anderson. And the thing that's interesting about Johnny Walker is only one of his 20 fights has gone to decision. So that's what you want to see. You want to see the aggressive nature of a fighter wanting to go for the win, right? A decision win is still a win. You can't take anything from it. And there's a lot of great fights that resulted in decision wins and losses for the respective fighters. But when you look at a guy that is charismatic, he's kind of unique. His name is Johnny Walker. He has a mohawk. He kind of looks the part of an entertaining person. And if his skill matches, and if he keeps on winning, then he's a marketable guy, right? ESPN, they love those kind of people, right? That's how you keep people on the platform. That's how you keep people paying the monthly dues so that you can keep on seeing more and more and more entertaining fighters, right? The bigger the roster of entertaining A-level fighters are on the roster, the more retention you can have for these monthly subscriptions, because now you can you're not locked in a contract. You're not locked in for 2 years, a year. You could just simply stop paying the dues every month, right? So that's kind of an interesting thing. They have to be entertaining. So the rest of this card, right? So the rest of this card, you have Kevin Lee, Derek Lewis, and Stephen Thompson, right? All those people fought for a title belt. All those people lost. All those people are very recognizable names. They're recognizable figures in the MMA community, right? They're very marketable. Derek Lewis is a personality and a half. Stephen Thompson is just really good at what he does. They all kind of represent different aspects of the MMA community. Now, what's interesting about all those guys is they were once on top, and they've kind of all experienced a bit of a skid, right? So the issue with that is even Kelvin Gastelum, right? Kelvin Gastelum lost to Stylebender, and now he wants to make a comeback. He wants to show that he still belongs, right? So there's all that, right? There's a lot of good fights on these cards, but there's a lot of these fighters. Those 4 fighters that I named, somebody's going to lose and continue on their losing way. They could lose their contract. They could not get their contract extended. These contract negotiations could result, if they lose this fight, they can accept a lower kind of per fight deal, right? So there's a lot, right? There's a lot of desperation in there. So when you have that desperation, it equals to some output, right? Some uncalculated outcomes, right? Some risks that you take. Fighting safe never makes you the headliner, right? Fighting safe always. Yeah, you could get the W's and you're accomplished and you're capable, but if you want to get to like Conor McGregor level or Ronda Rousey, you have to take risk. You have to chance it all, and that's what people like to see. People like to see a fighter who's at a super high level, but he's willing to risk it all. If somebody loses and it was a tremendous fight, I'm still a fan. That doesn't make me not want to watch you, right? So that's the thing that's interesting about these fights, is that everybody knows that in MMA, it's very difficult to stay undefeated your whole career. And so when that happens, it's amazing. But because there's already been one fighter so far, Khabib is only one. He's like 28-0. It's very difficult to do. You got to be a tremendous fighter to be able to do that. So that being said, I like all those fights. That's a stacked card. All those fights, you know, all those fights go all the way down to the prelims, right? Then you have Jorge Masvidal versus Nate Diaz, and I'm going to make my prediction. I'm going to give you what I think is going to be the key to it, right? So Nate Diaz obviously has quality cardio, right? He displayed that. His cardio was in question. His cardio was something that we didn't know if it was going to be good, bad, or whatever the deal was in his last fight. But he obviously understands this idea of cardio. And so now when we saw Masvidal fight, can his cardio match? Can he put either Nate Diaz away? In my estimation, he has to kind of look for the kind of knockout punch that's going to put him away, right? And obviously, Nate Diaz is a very accomplished, experienced fighter. They're both the same age, right? But I think that the key to the whole thing is, if the fight ends fast, it's going to end fast. Somebody's going to get lucky. But if it goes longer, is Masvidal's cardio at the same rate? So in other words, is he going to be able to control the pacing? The pace of the fight is going to be very important. The pacing of the fight is going to be everything, right? If you let Nate Diaz control the pacing of the fight, you're going to lose, because he'll wear you out and he has the ability to put you away, right? So that's the thing about him. He's very crafty, very experienced. If you allow him to kind of shut you down, then you're going to lose, because he's going to figure out a way to get in there and to choke you out because of his pedigree, because of his jiu-jitsu pedigree, right? So that's a very interesting thing to me in terms of the pacing. If Masvidal control the pacing, and if he can get some good shots in, he can throw maybe Nate Diaz off his game plan, then you're going to see Nate Diaz kind of backpedal and struggle, right? If he's on the ropes, and if he got hurt, and if he gets hurt early, then he's not going to be thinking about controlling pacing of the pace of the game, pace of the fight. He's going to think about surviving, and Masvidal is going to win that way, right? Because they're both wild cards. They both have this, you know, I'm super tough attitude. I think the grittiness, the grit factor of both of them is going to cancel each other out. We know they're each not, we know they're both not going to quit. We know it's going to be we know they're both tough. We agree with that, right? So in summing it up, I think this is going to be a tremendous fight card. Everybody made weight. Everybody's going to fight. Darren Till almost didn't show up, and Gastelum was not going to fight. Now, to me, that shows that he doesn't want to be in the prime time. If your fighter doesn't show up, you fight whoever's coming up next. You go get that money, right? My understanding is if you don't fight, you just don't get paid. So you're going to go through the fight camp, pay all your trainers, and do all this other stuff, all your advertisers, all your sponsors. That's going to make me not want to. If I owned a company and I have sponsored a fighter, and the whole thing is for that sponsored fighter to fight in that day and to be connected with that winning kind of atmosphere, and then they don't accept the fight, for me as a brand, I want to see somebody that's willing to go out there and be the best they can be. And accepting a fight at short notice is an unfortunate reality of what UFC and MMA, it happens. Drug testing, that was that whole debacle. That's really irrelevant. But pacing for all these fighters, Gastelum, he can get the victory. He just has to fight smart. He obviously has a game plan. But if Gastelum doesn't come out and, put his best foot forward, he's going to lose the fight. If he's taking Till lightly, Till made weight no problem. Everybody looks good. It's actually really interesting that this fight came together really good. I think ESPN's going to do really well in the ratings and how this fight is viewed. So anyways, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, all that good stuff. I went over 10 minutes. That's my goal. Everyone's supposed to be over at least 10 minutes. Again, the next video is going to be on Facebook. Check it out. I'll have the links. Let me know what you think. If you think this is garbage, let me know. If you think this is good, let me know. Whatever, it's okay. You can beat it up. If it, whatever, it's all good. Okay? Check it out. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Bye.